What we want to do today is cool. I want to make a config ini reader and parser and then read from my own config ini the, I guess, options from the game and then set them in the game as we start up. And yeah, let's go. That's, I think, a very interesting concept or very interesting thing to program. Very important as well, because almost every game needs some sort of config, right? You need to be able to configure your graphics options, for example. Sounds simple enough. Yeah, it sounds simple enough, right? Let me open up the actual project. And so I thought about, I think a config reader, we can do two things. We can try to make a generic one, or we can try and make one specific for my game, right? Because if we, let's say we have a config, right? And config option. Let's say a generic config one, right? And let's not work in the main because it doesn't really work very well, and we would like to do this generically. Let's see, logger. Logging, maybe it's do it below logging. Oh no, we need to be able to read files, right? So file IO has to be done in order for us to use a... oh, we have a JSON parser here. Then how about we, right here, above the JSON parser, we also have a config parser, right? And so for that, we first would need a struct that is maybe a token, just like in a JSON file. But we can't call it token, so maybe we should call it ini field, right? We'll see what it's called. And so it's easiest to always show the data first, or have the data first. So, and maybe an entire, do we have an entire JSON file? Parse primitive, parse JSON, it returns a, you supply an array of tokens, okay. So an ini field, right? And then maybe a struct, config, right? Could be just an array of ini fields, right? Let's say at most 200 at the moment, right? Fields. If we want to do it generically, right? For now, that could be a config, and then maybe a char pointer for the file name, right? Something like that. JSON is unnecessarily complicated, to be honest. You made your own JSON parser? Yeah. It's actually not that difficult to do. You basically, excuse me, you basically have every single field in a JSON file has a start and an end value. When you have, let's say, a character string, a character array. So we have a start index and an end index in the character array. And then you know how long that field is. And then each field or token, I call them tokens, has a type. Is it a string? Is it an object? Is it an array? And then you can also know or deter its data type. Deter? No, defer. No, infer? I don't know what it's called. Like you can basically, yeah, it's data type, right? So what you have is string, array, object, and a primitive. A primitive would be a number, a string would be a string, and an array would be an array, of course, right? And primitive could be like an int value, and maybe if you want to differentiate between floats and ints, you would also do that here. Cakez, my favorite moldy look. Nice React content on YouTube. Really amazing. Nails. Thank you, man. If not hard, if you are a good level programmer like Mr. Cakez, it is not hard. True, true. And so I thought an ini field, right, has... Maybe we have the same thing here, right? We call it an ini token, right? Maybe we do it like this, right? We have capital letters for the ini. Config ini. Maybe like that. And then an ini field. Like this. And then an ini token would be a string. An int. Or a token type float. So how can we find out whether it's a float or not? I don't know yet. I don't know how we can figure out if a certain... If we have a character array, guys, right? Let's say we have a character array. Let's say we have this, right? And it's defined like this. Let's say val, L, right? Value. Like this. And then after that we have point. It's difficult to type that. 5, right? 0.5. Like that. I wonder why this is complaining. Eh? Why is this complaining? You're overthinking it. Just write the functions. No need these OOP constructs. No, no, we need it. Remove equals. Yeah, I disabled it yesterday, you Dumbo. Shut the fuck up. Thanks for telling me though, bitch. Guys, what are we listening to? Guys, how do I define a fucking character array in a structure? This is how you do it. I've done this multiple times. I'm not stupid. Eh? Fine. I guess it wants to know how big it is. Okay, that's okay. Let's just pretend we have this array, right? How can I figure out that this part is a float? How am I able to do that? Is there a function in C++ that tells me, that takes a character? Is there a function in... Is there a function in C++ that can do this? Char pointer. Float text is 0.20, something like this, right? And then is float text, something like this. Is there a function like that? Why won't you use some minimal lib? I don't want to be dependent on a library. I want to program it myself. It's literally just 1 or 2 hours and we're done with this. Iterator of the characters, read and compare to dot. The thing is, Mr. Real Super Cool. The thing is, you know what? I'm gonna do it much more simple. We don't do any of this. We don't do any of this. We have a character for the name, character pointer, and then we have a character pointer to the value. That's all. That's everything we need. This is the simplest possible thing. Or we do it easier. We have a character array for the name. Why a character array? And value? Why this? Well, because then we can do simple A to I things, and we can actually ask the name. No, I think I'm just gonna do pointers. It's fine. It works in my case. You can copy the values over if you want to, but I'm gonna do name and value like this. Why do I do pointers? Well, let's say we have a character array, right? So this, or let's say, you know, like the first value in our string would be a resolution equals, or resolution underscore x equals 1080. 9020. Yeah? Let's say that. Alright? Thank you very much for subscribing, Alp. Now, if we have this, then in the name, what we would have is resolution underscore x equals 1920. And then in the value, we would see 1920, right? So this is what would be stored in those two strings, in those two pointers. And so what I would have to do is then do a substring comparison of the name to resolution x. Cakes, save everything as ints. If it's a float value in the end, I say, for example, multiply it by 100 as an entry for the base. I see. I don't remember who is requesting this garbage. That was you. You want a function that takes a string, float, and returns the float? Yeah, that's A to F. I know that. I can use that. I think this is bad. Because, at least for the name, because we could have something like this in the string. In the resolution, we could have something like \n and then resolution underscore y, right, equals 1080. And now a string comparison with name would yield true for resolution x and resolution y. And now that can be dangerous. So I think what I want to do, if I want to pass an ini field, I will actually turn this into an array. So I copy over data. Read them all in as floats and then cast the type when setting the value. Guys, it will be very simple. We will take the name. When we read in the ini file, we will take the name of the field. And depending on the field's name, I cast to whatever type I need. That's it. That's how simple it will be. Should it be completely arbitrary? Otherwise you can be a tagged union and avoid the pointer garbage. This is kinda dumb. Field name decides the type what? Yeah, of course. Hey? If I have resolution X, I find resolution X as my ini field. Then I know it's going to be an int value. I can make that assumption because I know how to read in the ini file. Because I need to write an ini file handler. Let's say I get an... Guys, I'm not going to argue with this. Like, there's no point. I'm wasting my time arguing with this. So I'm going to copy this over, and I will probably copy this over here too. Just for the sake of it. It's not perfect, but who cares, right? Doesn't matter. This is how I'm going to pass ini files. Wait, how do I do A to I? Takes in a string pointer, const char pointer to a string. Aha, I wonder if it terminates on \n. Probably it does. So maybe it will work. Maybe I should use pointers. Nah, at least for the name, and then the value would be a pointer. It's fine, we'll do it like this. Tokenize it, and you can decide the type based on the token, like 42 is a number, ASD is a string, etc. Yeah, I can if I want to, but why? Give me a reason. He did? Hey, how's work on the tower defense game coming along? Good, we are writing an ini file, an ini parser. Right now. Wait. Bump allocator, pointer, transient storage. Let's add a transient storage. Can you guys read that? You can't. Let me do this. Then you can read better. So basically what I'm having right now is this stuff right here. Again, because the user can put a different thing where you expect something else, and then the game's broken. It's his own fault. If you're changing the ini to something dumb and all of a sudden your game's broken, it's your own fault. Don't be stupid. Your parser is dumb? Stop complaining about my parser, bro. Cakez, check the link I dropped. From characters, C++ reference. Shit, I clicked the wrong way. Should it be completed, otherwise you can't be tagged union garbage pointer? Already read that. God, the internet is slow. Wait. What is this? From char's result. Takes in a char first and last. An integer type. Value. Int base. Format. Floating point type. Why would I use this? Eh? Holy shit, look at this. Look at this code. You can't even read anything. String data plus size. What? 15 foo? Result 15? It's better than ATI, doesn't even use exceptions. If he just used char, guys, shut up. Stop complaining. Holy shit. Stop complaining about me coding my game. Shut up. Goodness. Cakez. Don't care. Okay, I can tokenize it later if I want to. But even if I tokenize it, okay? Then the game will still need to toss an error when the value is wrong. Okay, brother? Cakez, don't listen to those library users. We gigachats to write ourselves. Exactly, bro. Exactly. And Grandmaster, thank you very much for following, and randomized play, thank you very much for following. Listen, okay, we're gonna do it like this. Let me just write a dumb parser. Look at this guy, how mad he is. It's insane. Look at this guy. Stop complaining! Hint. There we go. There we go. So, if data, or how about this? If data, SM error, couldn't read any file. Maybe it should be an SMS search. Alright, after that we create a config ini on the stack. Hey, what the fuck? Hey! And then we initialize that to 0 and give it the file name of the file name. There we go. Maybe I give the config ini also a pointer to the data, but it will be gone. The pointer to the data will be gone, which means if it's transient, then I also want to have... Actually, since this is a transient storage, what that means in my application is it goes away next frame. So if I load in the config ini file now, in let's say a second from now, this data is completely wiped out, which means I can no longer rely on the fields. Now, if I don't want to store the fields and just forget about the ini file or config ini, I want to use it right now and then it's gone, that's fine. But I feel like if for some reason I want to keep it in memory, then I feel like this needs to be copied over. So we're going to copy it over. The file name is fine, and then we start parsing. So basically, while we have a character is the value of the data plus plus, we start parsing. So what are we looking for? If we can switch on the character and then check what are we interested in. Well, case, we have an equal sign, right? That could be a case. And we can also have the case when we have a \r or a \n. Both of those have a new line. This would be the new line case, right? New line, and then this would be separator. So, and we also have to start with a field, right? So, for example, will you be doing more J? Yes. So essentially, if we find a new line character, we need to check something. We have this ini field, right? That is, whoops, stop it. That is inside the config ini. And by default, this ini field has no name and no value. So whenever we find a new line character, we check the ini field whether it has a name. How can we check this? It's an array, right? It's a pointer. Make a case for Among Us? Hello, Romeo. What the fuck, bro? Will you be doing more J? Yeah, I want to do more J in the future, for sure. Right now, I'm just trying to focus on making good progress on the game first, because I'm splitting my attention between my game and my... What is it called? And playing Dark Souls. If once I'm done with Dark Souls, I feel like I will sneak in a little session where I work on the game and then on something programming related for a while before we start with Elden Ring. So like maybe a couple of streams where, let's say, we take a look at J or maybe Unreal Engine or something like that, right? This is something that comes up next, guys. So yeah. Play Pogo Stuck in between. You're literally bouncing yourself already. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. If you want to do J, you should learn how to pronounce it because J is different language. You don't want to come off as some sort of clown, do you, Nails? Shut the fuck up. Guys, this is how we pronounce J in German. I am German. Okay? You won't get it out of my brain. This is how I say J. Okay? They should have chosen a better name if it is so confusing to read. It doesn't happen with Odin. Odin is Odin, right? Now, how can I check if I have something written in the name? Or we could do char pointer. Field name is null pointer. And then we have a char pointer to the not file name, field name. And then we have a field value is also null pointer. And so whenever we read a new line, we have to check if the ini field, if the field name, not file name, if the field name exists, so is unequal to null pointer, then we can copy over I probably want to do this. Ini field. Initialize that to 0. Why do I keep doing that? Initialize that to 0. And then I want to copy into the ini fields dot name the field name using string length of field name. And the same thing for the value. So what happens when we have a field name but we don't have a value? Or we only generate a... these are pointers. Wait. I can't do that actually. I can't actually do that. I have to find a name length. So int name length is 0. And then int value length is also 0. Maybe like that. Maybe this. Because we need to have a name length. Then a field length. Or value length. When will there be Cakez language? What the hell is J? It seems like a new language are coming out every week. Lol. No, J's been in development for a very long time. The German excuse is stupid. You also say C++ and it's not Zev++. Zev? Also, the closest German word would be Jane for jar plus 9. That would be closer to J than your pronunciation. You stupid. When in German we read the words J-A-I, then we say J. You're trying to tell a German how to say words in German? Is that true, Mr. Inukai? On YouTube? Are you trying to tell a German how to say something in German while not being German yourself? Huh? I am German, Dumbo? Yeah, then you're wrong. You're absolutely wrong, bro. I am German. Yeah, Justin6 is German too, yeah? Why do I not believe you? I don't believe you, Kai. He's not German. Absolutely not. No, he's not. No, he's not German. He just made that up. to have a stronger point. I don't believe you. Where's your receipt? Okay, so if we find a new line character, so let's say we find a separator, right? Then in the field value, I want to put everything past that point. Right? Starting and skipping any. So while char c is the value of data plus plus. This is the next character. If C is nothing, continue. This will skip white space. I don't know if I need this actually, but essentially, as a German, I would be unsure saying it as J or like Kai. After the GIF debacle, who cares anymore? Yeah, right. Ich bin Deutsch, du voll Honk, hast du noch nie Jein gehört? Soll ich dir den Duden für dich verlinken? Ah, Inuaika used Google Translate. Not created with ChatGPT, nail. Okay, bro. Yes, Omega lol. Germans in chat, is Cakez wrong? Yes, Omega lol. Wrong. I voted yes, not German. Yeah. Okay, bro. Now, like, okay. So essentially all I would need to do is find a new line, right? That's what we do here. When we have a new line, I want to copy if we have a name and a value, right? Now, obviously it's silent right now, which is bad. Something being silent is always really bad. And also a new line character can be \r followed by a \n, which means we get to this case first. We have a name and a value. Then we copy that into the field. And then we obviously add the fields to the config ini, right? Config ini.fields.add ini field, right? We add the field. Now that we have added the fields, we need to reset the values. And now once we have reset the values, we can get to \n, and then all of a sudden, if we error check here, well, excuse me. Is that annoying? I'm sorry, man. It's still the stupid... Oh, sorry, guys. Oh, yeah. But if it's created by an English speaker, I would also assume J first. English isn't exactly consistent. Jail, J, same letters, different sound. T. And T doesn't help. It makes it worse, actually. Yeah, like these guys just don't have an idea what it means to be German. Like they're pretending. Oh god, my wife's calling. What the fuck? Yeah? This game looks good. Could you share some resources you used for learning the game programming and the math required for it? Hey, go to the Duden and search for Jainismus. There's a button for pronunciation. I think I'm more German than you. Shut up. Okay. Oh god. Whew. I used what I used to learn. Sure, bro. Let me show you. This. I use this to learn C++, and then I watched a couple of this guy's tutorials. Chili tomato noodle. I watched the beginner one. This one. I watched this. I think this is the... No, is it? I watched this one. Wait. Which one did I watch? Well, essentially, I watched from this guy. So, from this guy here. No. No. Fucking bitch. You put it in there twice. Thank you very much for following, Payman. So, like, these two I watched. And then I watched Handmade Hero, Molly Rocket videos, oldest, searched videos by oldest to get into like the nitty gritty. So I did a lot of coding. You don't have to do it this way. If you want to have a more dumbed down version, more to the point, which is also still a lot of coding, I have this for you, brother. I have content, playlist, I have made a C++ game, and I made a tutorial for that. That's this right here. This is basically all I learned put into a playlist of tutorials on how to make a game in C++. That is essentially how I managed to do it, what I do. But you still have to realize it is a lot of work if you are making the game yourself and you don't use a library, if that makes sense. If you don't use an engine. Oldest video, 9 years ago, still no game. Yeah, you can see the influence. Just wait. Are you sending these links somewhere, Cakez? Oh, you want them on Twitch too? Sure. I sent them to YouTube, yeah? Because the person asked on YouTube, but I can send them to you as well. Of course. Maybe that wasn't actually... Is it really the correct? Yeah, well, obviously it didn't fucking copy the link, right? Fine, give me a second. So this one, that's the... Shut up. And then the tutorial, the Celestian C++, that's this one. And this is basically Molly Rocket videos. If you want to go into like crazy details. Yeah. Essentially this. Thank you very much for subscribing, bro. All right, now let's get back to what we were doing, okay? Totally don't understand this. Like, yeah, to int, it's fine. So essentially what I was doing is figuring out what to do when we find a field and then adding that field in. And if I take a look at the JSON parser, we have parse string that finds a closing string operator. And over here, these are just end positions. Yeah. So basically, this one just takes away It doesn't deal with white space at all, which is what I'm trying to do here. Skip white space. Now, do we need to skip the white space? I don't think we do. So essentially, if we find a separator, what we could do is say, okay, fine. I want to go through the data and find... Essentially, for every character that I find... I want to increment either the name of the the length of the name or the length of the value. So that could be like a boolean here. Bool. But what if I want to skip? Wait. Let's go through this. We go through a line, right? There's a couple of options. Right, let's make a very simple ini file, right? Ini file example. So let's say the first line is empty. \r \n, right? Empty line. And then we have, let's say, section. And over here we have resolution underscore x is 10. Right? And then over here we have resolution underscore y is 20. Doesn't really like, okay, fine, 1920 and 1080. Right, and over here we have \r \n in the worst case, right? Sometimes you have this, sometimes you don't. So essentially that, right? And then maybe for resolution X we have this for some reason, right? Okay, so if we go through the ini file, we find a \r, we find a \n. Then this if check doesn't happen, we break out, and then \r \n, we do that again, nothing happens. Okay, fine. Now, next line, we find a section. We find something here that could be a field name. So, we somehow need to set in the default case, I guess. I want to set the field name pointer to the data pointer. However, it's gonna be data -1. Because this would be letters, I think. That's actually a great way to break the line, break the ini file for certain OS users or people who use Git to store it. Cakez. Why? Why? What is ini short for? Config ini? I don't really know what the ini stands for. Guys, what does ini stand for? Sometimes you feel like a nut, sometimes you don't. Mounts and almond joy. The fuck? Initialization. I thought about initialization too, but I don't just want to say random words. Mega Shubs. Hello there. Thank you very much for following, bro. You know what? I'm just gonna test it out, guys. I will just test it out. Wait. Data ++. It's a pointer, right? The pointer can be arbitrary, so it should be 0, I think. Because RN is not cross-platform, we listen to ABAF. Cakes, you should break on \n and remove the trailing error if it exists. This way it would be OS independent, but nothing happens on \r. I just read it and move on. Did you build your own library for this game? Yes, I am. And I'm currently doing an ini parser. Like, nothing happens on \r. No. If we find this, then we break, actually. And over here we break too. And so, if we find any of these, we break out. Otherwise, we just increase the value length ++. Just increase the value. And over here, when we find an equals separator, we set the value, the field value to the data. And then I think a name length ++ is the easiest. And whenever we find a new line character, right? You should turn your background off. Is my background on? Oh, okay. You fall through to \n, so you treat it as a line break. Doesn't that get you the double line breaks? It doesn't matter, because yes, but I will only do something on \n. So for example, wait, on Linux it's what? On Linux it is... Wait, what did you guys say? \r/n on Linux? So \n is always the last character? So then maybe I should ignore \r. Maybe that just works. Maybe we just ignore this. It's like a white space character. Yeah. I think this is it. But I keep the \r here. So yeah, just consider Windows is \r \n and Linux is \n. Hello Diamond! Welcome, bro. How's it going, brother? Yeah, that's a good idea. Alright. Now, I think that's it. I'm pretty sure we made a mistake, right guys? The cool thing is, I can actually test this right now. I can build the game while it's still running. And so, yeah, all platforms have \n, but some add silly carriage return to pretend that they are a typewriter. Sometimes programmers are weird, especially MS ones, Microsoft ones. I think we can already read the ini file right now. Let's see. How's ini? No. Huh? Bumper locator and file name. And it returns a config ini. Then what is your problem? No matching function call available. Oh yeah, I need to pass this as a pointer. Of course. Yeah. Oh no, as a pointer. Sorry. As a pointer. Alright guys, what do you think? Now, obviously, for this we have to test it out. What do you guys think? Will this work? The first time? Will it actually work the first time? Ooh. I hope not. Hey, why? This is the config ini that we have. We have a string, then size X, size Y, and bloom. Huh? It's gonna work, guys. It's gonna work. Because that's not how programming works.
It went through without an error.
Well, okay, fine. All right, classic. Ini field. Does it go in here? Let's look at data. Yeah, display equals. And then blah 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 backslash r backslash n. So we should go here. Let's see. We are probably doing value length, right? Name length. True. Switch name length. True. And play. Yeah, play. Yeah. Ooh, now we are on the equal sign. Field value is data. Aha. Yeah. Now we have this. Okay. Value length. Value length is gonna eat up the entire display until it gets to a backslash r. Wow, it works very well. I'm surprised. We have a 13 for the value length. Okay. Backslash r though. Eh? Shouldn't it have... Oh, it is on backslash r right now. Okay. Break. Data. Backslash n. Aha. Field... True. I forgot one. Field name is data. This is the last one I forgot. Guys, it's gonna work now. But what about the first one? Maybe field name in the beginning should be data? And then it works. Why do I have a feeling that this will also include spaces? Yeah, it will include spaces, but it doesn't matter. I can work around, like, I can like trail all, can basically remove all of the white space, but I don't need to. All I need to do is have a substring comparison. That's all. All right, guys, it's gonna work. Watch. Watch. I'm so confident. Display, size X, size Y, bloom. Huh? Huh? Look at this. Huh? Now we're talking. Now I just need a function that compares substrings in a string. And that's it. After 5 years of programming, he can pass a file. Shut up. I've been here for 8 months. Nothing worked on the first try here. Nails. Hello there, Coco. Good morning. All right, cool. So now that we have the parsing working, we need to work on setting actual data that is important. And also, we need to parse this. There needs to be a section that is doing that. And I think, where do I do this? Do I do it in the game or in the engine itself? Trim the white space characters for your own good. Why not use std string? Are you not using some std stuff already? I'm barely using any std stuff, and also std string allocates heap memory, which I don't like. I like to allocate my own memory, which yeah, basically that's what std string will do. So I'm not using it. Can't you use the get private profile string function? What is that? std string view would avoid copies and give a ton of convenience functions. Yeah, but I don't need them. I don't need them. Do you have a job? Yes, Jose, I do. I have a mini job and some other side job. Some sort of consulting programming for someone. It's 2 things. Now, eventually I would hope that I can stream and earn enough through streaming, right? But that's still a long ways away. It will take some more time. But eventually it will happen, I believe. I'm a believer. Guys, are you believing? Hello, Ify. Good morning. Okay, now that we have the ini file, I need to figure out where I load this and where I set the stuff. Yes, Praesh, UHM, Cakez programming teacher. Let's look at Bloom, for example. Right. It's in render data. And it's also in the game, pretty sure. Game options. Has Bloom strength. It has these things. The music volume, SFX volume, the Bloom strength, and options. This needs to be in the ini file. Because you're online every day coding, yes? Yeah, I am. I'm trying to be consistent with this. You have to be consistent with this, otherwise there's no point in doing it at all. You can like maybe do a YouTube and stream sometimes, but I wanna be a streamer. I don't wanna be a YouTuber. I wanna be a streamer. I want the daily interaction. I like that more than doing like a big fancy YouTube video. Now I do like fancy YouTube videos and I also like doing them myself, but I'm a streamer. I'd rather stream. Night forever. Thank you very much for following, bro. So yeah, but like the ultimate goal, like the dream goal would be, I'm a game developer that also streams gameplay and game development. Like I develop my game and I play other games, you know, and I can earn money from streaming and game development. That would be the ultimate W, you know. It's like the golden shiny W that spins around. That's what I envision, you know. That's what I want my future to be. That would be awesome, you know. You will get there, you're doing good. Thank you, Shade11, I appreciate it. I was expecting something toxic, but really, I appreciate it, bro. Cakez, you're doing it already? Be enjoying it, dude? Yeah, I'm doing it already. The only thing missing is like, you know, the monetary means, right? The what I get back out of it, right? That's the only thing that's missing, but that will come eventually. I know that. Just building up so that it is more fun to break you down. Shut up. Fuck off. Okay, so. I need to do it in the main function. In the main thing here. Main file. The config ini. We passed the ini file. Now we have the config ini. And then we need to set some stuff. Render data. And we also need to save the ini file when we change something, right? obviously, when we change options, we need to save the ini file. So we need to go both ways. And so probably what I will do tomorrow is I'm going to write the ini file. Today is ini file loading. And then tomorrow we will do ini file writing. All right. Now, what do we need to set? We need to set the render data bloom strength. I think this is dependent on the options, right? There we go, game here. This is happening every frame. This happening every frame? How do I do this? I feel like I should have some sort of options struct that I serialize and deserialize. When I save and load. When I make changes to the options. So what I think I want to have is maybe a platform specific. I wonder where I put this, or maybe on input. Guys, I have a question. Listen, what is this song request? I commented after about the missing money part. Yeah. That will hopefully come in the future, for sure. I mean, if you do something for a very long time, you get very good at it, right? So eventually, I'm pretty sure, like, you know, is that I'm a believer. Now, guys, I have a question. I can't concentrate with this. Listen. We have the platform layer. We have the game. We have graphics. We have sound. Okay? We have input. These 5 pillars. Where do I put options? Options supplies data to the platform. It supplies data to sound. Wait, that was input. Doesn't supply anything to input yet. Well, the screen size. It supplies data to the renderer in terms of graphical effects. Bloom is the one that I change. And it supplies data to the game depending on certain options. Now, I need this options structure to hold all of these fields. But where do I store that options structure? Where is that options structure defined? Do I define that in input? Do I put it here? Struct options. Here? Is that a good place? It's the god hand of game dev. 5 pillars, very close to ancestral rules from the Liver King. What the fuck? So you guys, I can't concentrate with this. Also Cakez. So none of you has any idea. Cool. Do you have a renderer class where everything is rendered? I have render data. I supply data to the renderer every frame. My man! Thank you! Thank you! I appreciate it! Yay! I forgot to listen? I'm just gonna put it in input. Whatever. Who cares? So... No! It can't be. Right? Well, maybe it's just maybe it's just a new header. Bro, what's up today, my man? Hello, Mapiel. Nothing really. Or we put it in the schnitzel lib. That makes everything dependent on it, though. Very good if you want to change the renderer graphics library. and maintain the structure of the game. Yeah. Anyone know what he's yapping about? I try to sneak them in, but you can't just tell him. Can't just tell with him. Started like a poem. But I keep them separated. Do I put it here? Constants, I mean wave files. Defines. Structs. I guess no one's gonna help me. And then chat always comes around saying that they created my game. Fuck you. I don't know where to put the options, so I put it in the lib. Everyone has the lib. So what do we have? We have a bloom, strength, then a float, a window, X. Actually, this is an int. A window Y. Then we have a character pointer for the display name. What else do we need? Window X, window Y, bloom strength. And then we have an int. Is it game options? What is game options? No, it's not options. That is not options, you bro. Options flags. Aha. Option bits. There we go. We put that in the schnitzel lib. Option bits, and then we have option flags, which is just an int. Options. There we go. And this options, this would be like, yeah, options. Options, just options. This literally makes no sense being here, the bloom mostly. Well, it is, bloom is also a game option. But chat is dumb, bro. Surely we can't just help you.
Oh, look at push being fucking triggered from earlier that I didn't want to tokenize my ini file. Can you guys realize this nerd getting triggered over a programmer not tokenizing his ini files and then being so mad the entire time? Holy fucking shit, brother. It's just a fucking ini parser, man. Get over it.
What the fuck is wrong with this guy? VSync option? That's an option, yeah. Whether it's on or not. Why is this complaining? It doesn't have the bit macro here. Ooh. We need that. We need this to be below the defines. Okay. There we go. Cool! Now, why is this complaining? Is it because of the game? Is the game complaining now? Eh? It's no longer complaining. Cool. Ignoring Azen. And you say Azen is rude, Cakes. Ignoring my ideas. Sound enabled. Full screen. Full screen or not. I'm sorry, Azen. Actually, some real things. I'm very sorry. There were a bunch of messages and I missed your messages. So we're gonna give Mr. Azen the treatment. Take a look at his messages. Let's see here. What did you just use the option bits for? I'll show you. Push it worked for me. So I just look crazy to you. Yeah. I forgot to listen. Aha. Full screen or not, sound enabled, full screen, shrug, ignoring my idea. Aha. Thank you, Mr. Azen. Full screen or not. And all of these other options are here. Show hitboxes, show tooltips, show hints, advanced tooltips, option vsync, show FPS. The full screen borderless is not in there yet. That is something that I have to think about before adding, because it is actually a 5-head thing that happens, which I have to go through and think about in my brain. It's literally, I have a function for this, and I need to store some weird thing for it to work. Let's see, where's that? Toggle full screen. It gets a window style, and then it stores the window style and the previous window placement, which is here, which is a static and stuff like that. Sorry, and so yeah. It's just windowed mode without a title bar. Yeah, but it requires a little bit more thinking, bro. Okay. So, I'll get to it. Just not now. Okay, so now that we have the config ini, we can pass it. We have a field index that starts on 0, and the field index has to be less than the config ini dot count, or fields dot count, and then we have the field edx++. And now I'm quickly going to do this in the game, because for some reason in the main.cpp file it lags atrociously slow. So let's begin. We get ourselves an ini field. Field is, we can do a reference. A const reference even. So config ini dot fields on the field index. Now that we have a field, we can do a switch. Actually, we can't. We have to do an if check, if field.name, and now we have to do a string compare. So string CMP, character A, character B. So how did I implement the string compare function? So what are we looking for? And that is essentially just the options. Right, they will have default options, which I still need to set. But for example, the display name has to be empty. Hey, null pointer, that's important. Bloom strength has to be 1. Window X has to be 1920, and that has to be 1080 by default. And then the options by default, I want to show tooltips, so that would be bit 2 or option show tooltips and vsync. There we go. That's the idea. This is the default values for options that we create here. And the idea is going to be the following. If we find a certain string, like for example, the field's name contains display name. And why is string compare complaining, by the way? Wait, there's no known conversion from a const char array to a char pointer for the first argument. Why is the string compare complaining? Because it can't take a const char array and convert that to a char pointer. Can't I like turn this into a char pointer? Isn't the beginning... Do I really have to do field name on 0 and then take the address of that? Do I really have to do it like this? Wait, it still complains. Const char would lose const qualifier. Then don't use const! Fuck you! Okay. Can I just put the field name in here? I can. Thank God. Holy shit. Fine, then I don't use const. Goodness. Alright, so. Now I have a question, guys. String compare. I want to have substring. I want to find a substring. Is there a C function that gives me, that iterates over? Oh, is this my function? String length, the same. I see. String length contains split words. The real problem is string compare. No function would ever take char pointer without const unless it really changes the string. String string. String string. String string is supposed to find a substring. Split words with equals. No, I don't have split words with equals. So I guess we'll try to find display name here. And if we find that, then we put the options dot display name. We copy it into that. Actually, now we have an issue here. This needs to be a not a pointer, but an empty string of 32 characters. We need to copy into the display name the value of the options. Actually, I might just pass the inifile globally, and then have access to this. No, it's fine. We'll have the options global. That's okay. I'll have global options. Static global options, I think. No, actually, how do we do that? It needs to be memory on... Yeah, it needs to be passed. I need to have a pointer to the options. Yeah. But I'll figure this out. Actually, the game doesn't need to know about the options at all. What is the return of string string? It's gotta be an integer. Or a character pointer. So yeah, it should give me a null pointer if it doesn't find something. Fine. We copy into this display name of the options from the from the field dot name. No, from the field dot value. And string length field value. There we go. And now we do the same thing with all of the other checks. So what are we listening? What are we interested in as well? And for that, I need to remember what we had. Bloom strength options. Right, so we had bloom strength. Bloom strength. Then we have window X. Window Y. We have options. There we go. Okay, cool. Now, for bloom strength, options dot bloom strength is A to I, A to F, taking in a string from the field dot value. We turn the bloom strength to a float. The window X is A to I from the field dot value. The same here. And the options is another A to I. Options.options. If we are able to get this done, have this done, eh? Yeah. If we are able to have this done, then we have successfully passed our options, and these options need to be, I think, passed somewhere. They need to be, I need to reference them somewhere. So these are, because these are the game options. Let's put this into the main file. And then hopefully this will work. And then in the game.h. Here, I want to have an options pointer. Options. Not sure if I need those, but maybe I do. There we go. And in the main file, game state, trends in storage, we also set the game state options to the value of options. There we go. And now obviously, whenever we... Do we need to change that? I think we don't, right? Update game. Wait. If game, quit game. Yeah, update game, update game. Looks like we don't. Cakes, else the ifs, please. No, right now I don't. I will do error handling after that. First, I want to see what happens. Obviously, we can't write the... We can't do it like this right now. We need to first write the config ini file. So we have display name here. And then we have window X. We have window Y. And we have bloom strength. Oh, and I should probably just call it bloom here. I think that's easier for the user. Bloom. Display, bloom, and then over here options. And that would be 0 for now. There we go. Let's see if this works. What an actual productive day, bro. People happy, yeah, right? Lol boy, have a great day, brother. Actual productive, good day. Our streamer's on fire today. Yes, sir. All right, let's see if this works. I'm intrigued. So, how many fields do we have? 4 fields. Let's see if... No way. Ooh. Dude, it just works. Ooh. Wait, did I not save the config file? Did it not find the options? Hey, maybe it didn't find the options. Wait, it did. Wait, it did. Wait, it did? Wait, doesn't the config file only have 4 fields? Wait a minute. I'm confused. No, wait, it's still one thing is still wrong. Maybe it didn't load the correct config file. Hey? Streamer is learning. You can now write a parser first try.
This is not my first parser I've written, you know. I've written a JSON parser. I have written a GLTF parser. For anyone that does graphics programming, you know what GLTF is. You know how convoluted that bullshit is.
I have written a GLTF parser. in the past. Before I started streaming. Oh yeah. And it worked. It extracted the meshes, the data, the textures, everything. Everything I wanted. I'm going to eat something. Till later, brother. Easy and straightforward. What is GLTM? GLTF. GLTF. But, can your parser run Crysis? No, it's a parser. It's not supposed to run Crysis. Eh? Now, I'm a bit confused why the options are not being passed out. Maybe it's because it's 0? And then it can't find a value? Is that the reason? Yeah, it seems like when it's passing 0, it breaks. I wonder. It must be maybe this check here. I wonder. Display. Okay, bro, come on. I want to have a different field value. Now there's 2.0. That should be fast. Now we have 1920. Now we have 1080. Okay, I wonder what happens now. Boom. We add the field. We set the field name. That would be options. Break. Now, we switch on the name letters until we get to an equal sign. And this is probably where stuff begins. We get the equal sign. This is a normal letter. And then the character is 0. I see. So I want the null terminator. Is it \0? Is that the null terminator? This is the value 0 and it goes in here. Wait. No, the null terminator is 0. \z. Yeah, or 0 directly. So now value length has something. We have something in field value. And then it breaks. Ah, the while loop is over at this point. It is over here. And there's not a leading... I see. So basically I need to do this if check again. Outside. It's fine. So essentially like a last if check for the last little value that could be in there. God forbid your ini file has a string with spaces on your lines. Or a called name. Well, if you want to fuck up the ini file, then you can try to do that. Duplicating the code. Yeah, it's fine, bro. Who cares? Listen. As long as it works, it's fine. Okay? That is the most important thing. 5 fields. Options, value 0. Cool. What about comments? Comments will be disregarded because they don't have equal signs in them. And right now I don't allow comments because they could, like the comment could be read as something, I know. But for now I'm just not going to worry about it. It's fine.
Stop dotting me, okay? It's not going to be the most perfect ini file at the moment, but it works right now, okay? Can always improve it in the future. Okay, bro?
Shut up. Users can put equals in comments. Morse code him. Fine. I'll try to add in. If I can do it in 2 minutes, then I will. If I can do it in 2 minutes. I'll try. I'll try. Okay, if we find... Hey, my man. Thank you, anonymous user. Thank you so much for the support. Trumps in grown nut hair. Ew. Wait, shouldn't the name length be 1? No, wait, we read a new line character. We have nothing in the name yet. So if the name is 0, then we should have a comment. There we go. That should be it. That should be comments. And so now we can do fuck you chat. What if there is no next new line? Well, then it will terminate on the null character. That's all. That's why I put or equals to 0 here. Just don't put slash as the last characters. Why? Any comments don't start with slash, bro. How do they start? Comments start with semicolon. Fine. Then guys, it's okay. We'll put it as a semicolon then. That's okay. You can do that. Missing break too. You're right. I missed the break. So now it's actually correct. Thank you so much, Mr. Collector of Stuff. I really appreciate it, man. Thank you. No, fuck you, dumbass. Let's see if it works. Right? Might work. Might still work. It has 5 fields and hopefully it's successfully fuck. It put a fuck in here. That's I know why. There's one last thing I have to do. Once we are done, right, we set the field name to data. This. I forgot that part. We obviously need to skip ahead. We are still reading the comment. The field name still stores the comment. So that's a little fix. We have to update the field name's pointer to the correct location once we skipped ahead to either the new line character or nothing. If we skip it to nothing, then this is just a null pointer. That's fine. Oh, fuck. I just played without a semicolon, so that doesn't tell me if it actually works. Display name, bloom, window X, window Y options. Okay, guys, it works. We have comments in an ini file, and we are now loading those into actual options in the game. We are now reading the options correctly. Isn't that nice? This guy is unstoppable. Comments on the same line? Nails? I'm just not going to support them, that's all. I'm not going to support them. Like, I don't have to make the most perfect ini file. Okay, bro? Epoch? Guys, who's gonna write test for this parser? No one needs to write a test because it works right now. And if you fuck up the thing, then it's on your own, man. Cakes, do you have the 0 character at the end? Maybe you have to add it. I do have the 0 character at the end. Put a comment at the top saying you can't have comments on the same line, so you don't forget. Okay. Cool. Awesome. We're going to add this. Very nice. Now that we have a config ini parser, the next job will be to actually use those options when starting and initializing the game. And we also have to clamp those options. You know, sometimes someone could put the wrong option here that is maybe too high. And then whenever we change an option in the game, or whenever we start the game, we save the options file again. That would mean we probably also have to save the comments. So I would probably have to put them in like another list or something. But we'll have to see how I do that. Right? Maybe I just ignore the comments. We'll have to see. I definitely have to write stuff correctly. Now said Bloom to fuck you and watch the app break. No. I wonder what happens then. I think it will just try to pass an options value that is not valid. Now in options we have 0. That's fine. Then we just don't have Bloom. That's what I would expect to happen. You need validation on types when reading it and all that jazz. Yeah, I will definitely validate. Like, for example, after that, right? I would clamp it to, let's say, what would be the minimum for Y? 720 by, let's say, 1080, right? I would just clamp. That's what I would do. And the same thing for this here. Try without brackets, Cakes. Guys, it's fine. Listen, it's fine. We'll debug this later. Ultra giga mega wide monitors, 4K monitors. Guys, yeah, I would definitely, like, there will be, it will be, I have supported maximum things, right? This depends on something I read from the operating system. I have to read the operating system's maximum height and then say, okay, that's what you can use. Yes. Can you say, sure, your file string has the terminating character at the end? Can you sure your file string has the terminating character at the end? It does. Not my file, but how I read the file does have it. My file reading makes sure that every string that it reads is null terminated. That's how I know it. Now, if you have a different file reader and you don't have this assurance that your file will be terminated with 0, then obviously you have to do something else. But I do. I do. Okay, guys, it's time. You know what it is, right? You know what we do now? You know what time it is, you know. It's boss time. It is Dark Souls time, boys. So yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed this little config file parsing. I had a lot of fun. It's awesome to make some good progress on the game and have this be ready for other games in the future, because I think this is very important, having these options and, you know, being able to change them as well. It just adds to the repertoire of game development related things that I have in my arsenal that I can pull from in the future, right? Let's say if I make a 3D game, the config file parsing doesn't have to change, right? It's just a config file. So that's awesome.